Yeah, how you doing?
What's going on? What's going on? I'd like you to say what's up to my boy. We're in the studio, but my man Kenny from CASHAPP. Say what's
Oh,
up, Kenny.
hey,
How you
Kenny.
doing?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, good to see you again.
People enjoy the interview, and looking forward to the new stuff that you guys are going to bring out.
Oh yeah.
We're working on a low key project too right now.
Okay.
Can't really talk about it. Well, I can, but he can. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, since we had our interview in September, a lot has happened. It's just
I'm
been
sorry to hear
slowing
about
up.
your pops, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just came back from burying him, so there's a new just COVID has really took its toll on a lot of us and stuff. But what about yourself? Because I know that last time we spoke, you were supposed to be dropping Black Disney. It's been 10 months since we had the interview, and still snippets, but no album. What's going on?
The album's coming, man. You got to deal with a lot of samples that won't clear. That records are a must. That got to be on the album. Dealing with the preparation. I'm not just gonna, just drop an album and then just drop it. Because nowadays, once you drop, you drop.
Yeah.
Once you press that button, it's over. So we making sure everything marketing is in place. We're making sure videos in place and a promotional tours in place. Like to go and do it. Now that the world's open, it's more go time than ever for us.
I mean,
we're gonna make up for a lot. The first drop, we're gonna make up for a lot. Trust me.
Are you actually looking to go back on the road and stuff? Because I mean, you've been out. When you've been relaxed and in the studio. I mean, that seems like a lot of work, doesn't it?
Man, I'm growing my hair for this video. I'm growing the hair for the video. I'm just it's gonna be crazy. The road is easy. The road is easy. The tour bus is being packed as we talk right now. The road is easy. The album, it's crazy because now we get to pick and choose a lot more of the stuff and letting the world hear the snippets. It's giving us a better insight of a direction, a more of a base direction of where we need to go, and it's been great.
Okay. I mean, the ones that that I think some of the samples that you had, you had the to the wheels fall off with the sort of Michael track. You had you had Talk to Me that had the Jodeci stuff. You had the Lock and Key. I mean, some of those types of 90s R&B vibes with the rap, it's very nostalgic. So it's almost like, I remember the track plus the rap over it. And I don't know, and then you had the sort of the harder stuff where people were thinking, oh, it's like Killer Mike and stuff like that. So I don't know if you're thinking about, are you going to try and go in a direction that appeals to more of the R&B stuff, or you want to really hit the hip hop fans?
I'm making an album for me. Like, I'm A&R my album. I'm in charge of it. I'm in charge of everything that makes sense, that make sense, keeping the Uptown, the way Uptown, because every time I always think of Andre in the back of me, so I always think of him like, yo, money, that's retarded or that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So, and me and Jimmy Jenkins are constantly on the phone, constantly meeting each other in different parts of the world. So, we just making it make sense. That's all.
Okay. Are you going to go independent now? I mean, because I know that time you were thinking whether you want to do major.
It's crazy because since then it's a lot that's happened. A lot of people approached, and I'm trying to think, like, do I want to check and let them do everything, or do I want to just ground zero it and just do it myself? But that's being in consideration too, and it really depends on what the sample houses come back and say.
Okay.
Because sample houses be hitting you for like 20,000 a joint.
Wow.
It could be 20,000. It could be 15 for one song. So what I'm saying, if it comes to a situation like that, then I may have to go major and let them pick up the tab, or I could do it. And certain records you don't want to leave off your album either.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's all in conversation, though.
I mean, what's the aim of the album? Because I guess when you've accomplished what you have, you know, you've already had hit records and stuff. You're not doing it for the money. So what is the aim of it? Because that then makes a difference if you want to go major, so that it gets pushed out to more people, even though the ownership and all that stuff might be different. Or is it a case where, because you're not, as I say, if you're not doing it for the money, what's the purpose for the album?
Well, I think every artist in their heart does it because it's what they love to do. That's why if you look at like Jay-Z, when he retired, he came back out of retirement.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's like when you get a tattoo, you love it, you want another one. It's what you do. You get what I'm saying? And when you really love, you can tell the artists that really just love what they do. And making music is something that I've done all my life. I've had one job, damn near, Kentucky Fried Chicken. I never worked as an adult. You get what I'm saying? Ever. So I know nothing else. The thing of it is that I do it, first of all, because I love the fans. I love the people. And I love to make people move. I love to walk on the stage. That's the thing that I do. You know, to make, you know, people enjoy your music is to make a record is easy. Yeah. To make people love what you do is something else. And when I make the hood records for the fellas, that's just an appreciation. Well, I ain't forget y'all either. I didn't forget y'all. You get what I'm saying? Because before Father MC, there was Father MC, but on another level. And people around the world know me that I grew up with on that level.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I grew up, and I'm not saying that I'm going back to that, but I'm saying that, you know, I can reminisce and talk about the stuff we used to do when we was young. You know what I mean? And it makes sense, you know. And it's fun. It's fun to recapture. It's like when you rethink. It's like a writer writing a movie. It's like when you rethinking and you like, damn, I remember that. So let me put that in. It's like they're picking up the speed back on the Uptown movie right now. So that's in the works again because of COVID shut down a lot of major things that was going on with a lot of major things. And I was trying to speedball for the movie release. But now that they're picking back up and being that we're on schedule again, I'm just making sure it makes sense.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed also, because you introduced Kenny from As Yet, and there's a track that you sort of sampled, gave a snippet just at the beginning of the year or so, but I've noticed that you're doing a lot more production on your stuff. Are you moving into the direction of being a producer again? Because I think many people might be surprised to remember that you actually produce stuff with Ray Parker Jr. and stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting back. Like majority of my album I produce. I produced a song for As Yet. I'm working on Kenny's stuff as we speak. And a lot of people, Bree, you know, we're working like I got her and Ken doing a duet, working on a lot of stuff. A lot of artists that really want it, like sincere about it. Like I'm in the studio as we speak right now. You know, it's just the work, man, the work ethic, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's happened over the past year? Because a year ago, I mean, we didn't see on social media, so we didn't know what you were doing. But it's almost as if as soon as you got on, it's almost as if we're just seeing you constantly working and bringing out music. I mean, what did you take a break and just thought, you know, last year, COVID, you know, let me stop bringing out music, or what was the shift?
What made me start giving the world music? You mean?
Because as I said, prior to
it's like, okay, people are home, they're listening. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, let me have fun with it. I got studios, I produce myself, so let me have fun with it and do what I do to make it make sense. You know, and then start really talking to a lot of people and people was like, yo, are you gonna do the album? Are you gonna get serious with it, with your album? Because I was just having a ball with it, to be honest. But it became more like, let me do this. What I got to lose? Nothing. You know.
But is it as you're releasing your own snippets? How is the opportunity to produce others? How's that coming? Are people just seeing what you're doing and reaching out to you, or what?
A lot of people are reaching out, DMing me, reaching out, you know, and seeing what's going on and making sure that, you know, long as we make sure the business is straight, let's rock and roll, you know.
Is it F Media that you or for Rock Media? What's the your label that you put out? Your label, is it F Media or for Rock?
F Media Corp is my company.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that though, are you signing? Because I know that you've mentioned Bree, but are you signing artists to that label, or what's the plan for F Media?
F Media Corp is a marketing company. We're a marketing company where we just gonna have our artists and we're gonna market them. I don't want to be a record label. I don't want to do that. Okay. You know what I mean? I want to put the dough behind the artists and market them. So at the end of the day, like, here, we get you the deal, but we're gonna market you. We're gonna put up the dough to market you.
Okay. What's the difference though between, I know that the traditional labels and it's all different because you're not taking records to.
If I put out a record, like, it's certain ways you can get the middleman out of the picture too. It's certain ways you can just do it cold-heartedly, do it yourself, and just say, here's my Cash App or my Zelle, and you go Zelle the record. Like, if the record, let's just say if the record's $15, you say Zelle me $15, and it comes directly out, and you're getting the album. You cut the middleman out.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? F Media comes and does all of your marketing. So we're a marketing company that's going to market your stuff and try to go get endorsements for you. Try to, do stuff like that. Because going to record companies and asking them, yo, here my artists, and you got to depend on one person to say, yeah, let me take it to the big guy. The big guy, their ears could be off that day. And I've seen it happen so many times where people take records, even to us, to Uptown, where we've gotten records and we passed on them. And other records, they went to other labels and had hit records. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's certain people, ears aren't there. And I'm an old school cat. I love my old school. I love making records. I love making to put the work in. I love the Ampex reels. I love the reel-to-reels, the thickness of it. I love to go to a club and see people dance and having a good time.
Yeah. But so I think with that though, I mean, is it, so your plan is Bree records the album and then you start to market it. Are we expecting her to do just R&B? Is she going to rap in it, or what's the plan with her?
Well, Bree's going to do R&B. We may have some fun with her rapping on a song or two, but we're not focused on Bree's rapping. We're focusing on her singing, bringing real R&B back. You know what I'm saying? With R&B tracks and R&B melodies and harmonies and stuff like that. Ad-libs, singing the record, not just want to hear the singing again. I'm cool with what's going on now, but I just want to hear singing.
Yeah.
I want to hear that R&B make love music.
A lot of people have been saying that, and maybe her is probably the only, is coming up with stuff. Jam and Lewis are trying to bring back R&B and stuff. And I think the more we hear of it, the more we can appreciate it. Are you also going to do any collabs with any of the old Uptown people? Because at least a lot of people would be wondering if we're going to see an old Uptown
they're talking about an Uptown tour because of, everybody's getting older. So they're talking about that as we speak too. That's actually in conversation and up for grabs. But everyone, it depends on, we're all grown now. So it depends on, people and where they are in their lives.
Yeah.
Like, you can't demand for stuff as much as we could have back then when we had the hits rolling. Yeah. So certain people may still think they got the hits.
Yeah.
And I want this and that to go on the road. And you got to realize, I'm here for it though. I'm here for it.
But then that'd be hard because when you think of Uptown, you're thinking, okay, you're not going to get heavy. So you might, then you have to think, how many of guys from Jodeci can we get together? Mary, whether she's going to be
right.
ready.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where everybody's at in their career. Christopher Williams. Like, where it's just depending on where people are at. If everybody's on deck and ready to go, we already know Mary's going to have to close it out. She's the mega. At the end of the day. But it's like, whoever's hot, it's just what you do on that stage. because your records from back then is still gonna be heard. Like when you get on that stage, as soon as you walk on that stage, it's gonna be a whole different story.
Yeah, but then because you probably released 12 to 15 tracks over the past year of new stuff. How's that like compared to trying to go back and sing some of the old stuff? Do you then think, does it become hard to go back into that mindset of singing, treat him and all that stuff because of where
No,
you are now?
nah, because see what it is once you walk out on stage and the people that knew you know your old stuff, they're gonna rock with you. But then when you say, here I am now, it's a whole different element. And it's just the way you present yourself on stage. When you walk out, everybody, of course, gonna, this is what I grew up to, my joints. And then say like this, it's up to you being the MC to say, control the crowd. Microphone controller, control the crowd and say, this is what I'm working with now. And you giving it to them and you give them that feel good. And long as this is not too far, because you have to excel. It can't be the same thing that you was doing. You have to excel. You have to move ahead because you got to follow music. So long as you're doing that and you're a little familiar and you could have went a little left, that's okay. It's art.
Yeah.
It's art.
Yeah.
You're
still getting a lot of love from the DJ Cassie's Pass the Mic Volume 3, which was probably his biggest one to date.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, being apart from yourself and Teddy doing hip rapping on that, because you went in Volume 2. Did you have a choice in what tracks you played that or did he say this is what he wants?
He wanted Everything's Gonna Be All Right because that happened with Andre Harrell when Andre passed. And I said, with Andre Harrell, what I'm saying? In the record, I say Andre Harrell's name. So,
yeah,
that's what it was. But, like I had so many hit records. I could keep going down the list, like from Treat 'Em Like You Want to Be Treated to Everything to I'll Do For You to Lisa Baby to One Night Stand to Everything's Gonna Be All Right to 69 to Affection to, I could keep going, what I'm saying? And then the records with me and Ray Parker and the other people I've done work with Intro and worked with everyone, Horace Brown, everywhere.
I mean, when you do think about it, though, because the fact that you have had a slew of hit records and you start looking at people who go on 90s tour and stuff like that, and maybe they have 3 or 4 hits that they had, it's not easy to because it was very competitive in the 90s. I mean, every day I do a poll and it's really hot records and so much competition. But when you think of the fact that you were just, you were getting the hits, it means you can go on tour and, just have a set of 10 or 15 of your tracks and stuff. But then that takes away from some of the newest things that you're doing, which, as I said, a lot of them are really catchy, and especially some of the ones that are...
You have to build. As an artist, you have to build. You have to build. Like, you can't do the whole song when you want to stay on a tour if you're trying to put out your new stuff. So you may do the hook and the chorus and go to the next one and, make your show tape like that. And you start doing the records you start squeezing them in as the world is getting more familiar with your new stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's how you keep it going. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess being on tour though, because that's the thing. I mean, when's the last time you were actually on a stage?
Man, I'm on a stage every day of my life, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, with a crowd and you're playing, you're performing. When's the last time you actually got a mic and you're actually on stage and people were like, "Hey, Father"?
Man, before the pandemic, I was out and I was doing little side things here and there, not depending on it, just doing it,
Okay.
not depending on it and having a ball doing it. The stage, I'm not afraid of at all. That's when we did Wembley Arena in London and everybody was like, Wembley Arena, they be booing people and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let's go. all we did was pray, and we got on the stage and we handled our business. You know, the stage I had the most fear of out of the whole world that I toured was the Apollo.
Yeah, I mean,
And when I touched that shrine, it was business as usual. We prayed, and it's time to go. You know, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, and the thing of it is like I'm saying, I had records to back me up with.
Yeah.
So I'm walking into a fight with records in back of me, like hits, and you know, I had feel good records too. So you know, even for the gangsters and the thugs, they loved Father because Father had the women.
Yeah.
The women came out. So everybody to this day tell me, yo, when you came in my city, I had to come on tour. They say I can't front. I was rocking with other artists, but you brought the women out. So the women came. I was going to that Father MC show. You know, a lot of cats told me, one dude told me, he said, man, I had a cassette of yours that I opened up just and put it in the car just when women would come in, when you'd have women in his car. You know,
back in the 90s, we did all crazy stuff. We used to play a track and then leave it as our, you know, when you're leaving a mess answer machine. So you have the everything's gonna be all right. It says, yeah, I'm not around right now, but everything's gonna be all right. Call me back.
True.
Yeah, so I can imagine somebody having the tape in there to say that, yeah, man, this is what I'm listening to stuff. You know, when I did watch the Uptown Unplugged, there's a very different energy when you were performing with the band. And I do wonder if that's stuff that you would consider doing when you do go back on the road.
That's what I'm gonna do. The band is needed because with me, if you look at the Uptown Unplugged, right? I look at it and I bug out because I knew at the rehearsals I always told the drummer my drummer was my guy in the bass. Everything else I didn't really care about. I was like, me and the drummer and the bass guy, we had like cues of drop. Boom. When I put my hand down, let the drums just rock. You get what I'm saying? And you can see, if you look at the Uptown Unplugged, where I got comfortable when it was just me and the drums.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You could see where me and him just floating, like, let's go. Like that. And then when the boom, 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 you know, he brought it in. I mean, it was crazy, man. And then my background singers, you know, it's a big difference between a DAT show and a live band. The band is fun.
But why do a lot of artists don't seem to? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of the clips on you know, on social media, and they're just getting the DJ out there, and it's almost.
Let me tell you something. A band is fun, but a band costs money. So if you let's say Azjet, let's give them as an example.
Yeah.
Azjet, if they get in, let's say, I'm just giving a number. I don't know but if they're getting, let's say, 10 grand a show, right? It's for them. So they got to pay each other, you know, 25, right? For, let's say, 4 grand. They got to pay each other $1,000 a piece. It's for them, right?
Yeah.
Then they got to pay the tour bus driver. Then they got to pay the background, the band members. You got to pay the band members, and then you got to pay the sound stage. I mean, people don't realize when you go on tour, you're responsible for everything. I was solo, and I had a payroll of 15 people.
Wow.
I took 15 people on the road with me, overseas and in the United States, because people think it's not needed, but it is needed, because you're not going to carry your bag. So you got to pay someone to carry your bags, which is a roadie. You're not going to carry that equipment. So the roadie's job, your barber has to be there, you know, and the barber ain't going to leave. So he ain't cutting your hair every day, but hey, he got to be there. Your stylist, you know, it's a lot that go with it. And people say, you could go without that. Okay, you try. You got people dressing you when you on stage, when you walk in the back for like 40 seconds. I had people wearing my shoes, taking my shoes off, putting the pants on, putting my shoes on, while you got 30 seconds before you back on that stage for another set. So it's crazy. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's entertainment. Yeah, that's why they sung a cappella. Kenny said that's why they sung a cappella. You know, I never was one of the artists to like when Jodeci had all of the explosions and all of that stuff and all that, I had a backdrop. My backdrop cost me 15 grand. It was like the biggest backdrop in the game at that point. And it was my album cover, right?
Yeah.
I realized that it's only me and my dancers on that stage. So we have to depend and rely on our show.
Yeah.
We don't have everything else. Because once that's done and over with, it's just you and the crowd.
Yeah.
It's you and the crowd. So I had to have the crowd from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Where a lot of groups got the explosions and all that, extra candy stuff, and it's cool, but that shit costs.
Yeah, so that makes sense, because when I did interview some guys and they talked about when they went on they went told a New Edition, and they weren't getting as much as New Edition, but their set cost a lot more, so it meant what they were taking home was impacted. And I guess a lot of us don't really get and understand, because
the tour bus, the gas, the driver's lodging, the tour bus driver's salary, all of that.
So like if you were Live Nation and those guys, they don't what do they do? They just I thought they covered all that stuff. And
no, they don't cover none of that. They give you a salary. Let's say we're gonna give Father, let's say $50,000, right?
Yeah.
It's a thing where you could get 50,000 and we take care of everything, like the airfare, everything, right? Or we're gonna give you 70,000 and that's included, and you got to take care of everything.
Okay.
So it just depends on, ICM, International Creative Management, was my booking agency.
Yeah.
And to the day, me and Mark Cheatham, he's over there at CAA now in Kaale out here. That's the biggest, besides Endeavor, William Morris Endeavor. But they're the biggest agency out now. And it's like, nah, they get a fee for you. And you got to figure that out. So that's why they do the tours. They do the tours. So the tour is like let's say a 30-city tour, let's say.
Yeah.
You have to budget all of that. And I used to always tell my manager, Frank DeLeo and Steve Lucas, yo, this is what you're going to make on tour. And in my head, I used to say, I got 15 cats with me. Okay, I want to bring home this amount. This is what I want to bring home out of this. Figure it out. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm making $10, I want to bring home 7, 6.5 to 7, no less than 6.5. So y'all got to figure that out. Bus driver and everything. Y'all got to figure that out. Hotels all across, and I got hotels out there, yin yang. So 2 people to a room. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
But then how does an artist who's focused on being on stage have to start thinking about the money side at the same time? Does that not become a distraction?
It can be. It can be, depending on what type of an artist you are. If you're an artist that you're getting money, see, when you start getting money, when you start booking shows, it's more money than you probably had anyway. So you're getting that money, and you're getting that money Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sometimes, if you catch a hit record and you on a tour. So you got to budget that shit out. Like if you making 50,000, oh shoot, it says my battery going in 2 minutes.
Okay, that was pretty silly.
Yeah, if you making that, so you gotta, budget it out, but it's doable. It can happen.
Yeah.
That's why, like I was saying about the Uptown Tour, it just depends. Everyone's getting older and where they at in their lives.
Yeah.
Like, just cause, let's say Jodeci made more than me on tour, which they did. They made more than me on tour, but now no one has a hit record. So they could say back in the day, I want 50,000 more than Father. They could have, being realistic. Now they can't, because now we're all at the even playing field. Mary's the one who could demand, I want 200,000, easy, 300,000-400,000, easy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then the album comes back, I can be back into that bargaining field. So we got to pray and hopefully, God makes that thing happen, which it will.
Yeah. Well, Well, I appreciate. I mean, as I said, I'll keep in touch just to see when, if there's going to be any news about the album. I know that, as I said, I like the fact that you released a lot of singles for us to sort of whet our appetite and stuff. But it's it's good to keep, yeah, it's good to keep in touch to see how much you've changed and how what's been going on this past year and stuff.
I got like 3 more inches to go, and then the video is ready. When you know that I'm doing a video, you know the single's coming.
Okay.
You know the single's coming. And
so you're getting ready for a video, but you're not telling us which single it is.
You know what's crazy? Yeah, Get Off. Jay, get him Get Off. Get him the single Get Off. You got to get that record.
Okay.
I just give you a hint. American Bandstand. That's all I can say.
Okay.
American Bandstand. It's crazy.
Okay. So yeah, as I said, I'll be sure to make sure it goes out there and stuff. But definitely, as I said, I always owe you a depth thanks. Since first person to grace Must Be the Music, and since then, doors have opened and stuff. So I never stop giving you props and thanks for.
I'm watching your moves. I'm seeing the moves you making, baby. I'm checking you out. I'm saying, look at my man, look at my guy. I'm seeing all my guys calling me when they get ready to interview you, and they asking me, yo, how is he, man? Like, ooh. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at him. I'm checking you out.
Yeah,
Dave, Jimmy Love, all of them calling me, and they be calling. And then I call them back and say, okay, how was it? It's like, yo, oh boy was good, man. He was cool. Yeah.
Jimmy stuff. I mean, he was that. People loved the whole Uptown story because he was just going from start to finish, and
Jimmy is crazy. I just was with him. I was with Jimmy during the whole COVID. Wow. We were flying back and forth to Atlanta because we putting something together, and we were flying back and forth. They just finished the Tupac, the Hutland brothers just finished the Tupac, and now they're working on Marvin Gaye.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's about to be. I just got off the phone with Jimmy like yesterday, a matter of fact, and we have something in the kitchen baking. But everything is we old schoolers, so we do stuff where it makes sense. We just don't make moves. We make moves.
Well, let Jimmy know, because as I said, his Uptown stuff was made him 50,000-60,000 people watched all his stuff. So when he's about to release the movie and he wants to get some publicity, we can always talk about that, because it's the
man. Listen, I'm gonna put every. Hold on, that's Jay calling me now. Hold on, let me see what he. Yo. Yeah, I'm on with him right now. He says not letting him on. Yo, get on. I'm sending him Get Off the record. Okay. Yeah, he said I thought he was on. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but as I said, you said your phone is down and stuff. But yeah, I said, whenever you guys are ready to promote, just give me a shout out. And as I said,
you already know I got you, man. Yeah, and I appreciate you all day, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate everything, and getting ready to listen to stuff you're doing by yourself with Bree, with Kenny. So yeah, we're definitely going to be looking forward.
Kenny's record is turning out crazy. Kenny's record. I wish I could give him a taste, Kenny. I can't do it yet.
Okay.
I can't do it yet. You got to interview Kenny Dolo.
Yeah. Kenny. When you're about to do your solo stuff, man, we'll just talk about Kenny. So we've done the ads yet. We've done everything else. We just focus on you. So when you're ready, just you just hit me up. It's not a problem.
Oh, you can count on it.
Okay, man.
Kenny got some stuff, man. That's a bad boy.
Yeah,
he got some stuff. He got some stuff, man.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot, and I gotta get back to the studio.
No problem.
Too. And I'll hit you up, man. Take care, man. I'm sorry. My condolences about your pops, man.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come. But thanks a lot for watching.
I